Hello friends, welcome to the fifth video of Java online course module. We'll start with the loop control structures. Loop control structures are the very important part of decision making statements here, where we are going to execute some statement repetitive number of times. So when you have to execute some statement repetitive number of times, you are going to make use of while, do while and the for loops. Along with that, two more statements are used. They are called as break and continue. So in this video we are going to see the applications of these three loop control structures along with the break and continue keywords of the loop control structures here. Let's start with the first loop, while loop. So while is a loop control structure which is used to execute some statement repetitive number of times. See on the screen we can see a flow chart shown over here. Like we have some initialization part written in the program, then we will have a condition. So here while loop will start and while loop will have a condition given there. If that condition is true, then it will enter inside the loop, inside the block, and the body of the loop will execute it, and once it is completed it will go back to the condition again check condition is true or false. If it is true, then go inside the body and continue it. And when the condition becomes false, when condition is false, then it will come out of the loop and will go to the next statement after the loop in this way. So condition should be, it's very important concept over here. When condition is true, then and then only it will continue inside the loop, else it will come out of the loop structure here. Now while there's three different programs I'm showing over here to demonstrate the use of the while loop. So while is a keyword associated in Java which is used to create this kind of the loop here. So let's go for the loop structure. Let's see the first program, while add. So what I've done here, I'm going to find the addition of first 10 natural numbers using a while loop. Means I want to add the numbers from 1 to 10. So I'll start my counter from 1. So here I declared num is equal to 1. I'll start my counter from 1, and then one variable which I have declared to store the addition of all the numbers. So what I am going to do, I'll add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 till 10. So my number starts from 1, number is less than or equal to 10. So here I am using a while loop, while number is less than or equal to 10. So number is first of all 1, and I am going to increment it till 10. That's why the condition is like this. Condition will become true for first case. Then add is equal to add plus number. So number is 1, that number is added into the variable add whose value is 0 previously. So I am adding this 1 into add variable, and then I am incrementing the num by 1. So it will become 2. We will go to check the condition 2 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, true. Then first previously it was having 1. So 1 plus 2, 3 will be there. Then 4 is added, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10, and when value of num becomes 11, this condition will be false. So when this condition is false, the while loop will be stopped and it will come out of it. We'll go here and print the addition of this variable on the screen. So the while loop is completely focusing on the condition. So you need to write the perfect condition there. So when condition is false, then only while loop will be terminated and will come out of the loop. And we know that this variable was containing the addition of all the numbers from 1 to 10. So after the loop is ended, this is completed, I'm printing addition on the screen. I am not printing the addition inside the while loop because while loop is calculating it, and when the calculations are completed, then I am printing it on the screen. That addition is something. So we know the addition of first 10 natural number is, let's see, let's run this code. See, addition is 55. So 1 to 10, all the numbers are added together and then they are printed. This is how the application of simple application of while loop is. Okay, so let's see, I'll modify this program a bit. For example, I want to find the addition of the numbers, odd numbers from 1 to 20, odd numbers only. I'm not going to change the numbers are odd because we know that every alternative number is odd. So what I'll do, I'll go till 20, okay, and num is equal to num plus 2. So I'm incrementing the number by 2 till 20. So 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So all odd numbers are added, and let's see the addition of odd numbers from 1 to 20 how much is. Okay, it's 100, like in this way. So It completely depends upon your logic, how you apply and application use the while loop in actual programming there. Let's go for some more example of the while loop. So here I'm taking the numbers from the user. So I'm finding the maximum number from the 10 elements here. So what I've done, okay, first of all I'm getting a count here equal to 0. So I want to enter the 10 numbers, so I'll focus on this particular count here. The number I'm reading from the user, and one variable I'm keeping max. So if you want to find a maximum from the list of elements, I'll keep one number max. For example, I'm keeping max number equal to 0, and then compare all other number with it. When that number is greater than 0, I'll keep that number into the max variable, and then go on comparing the next. So when the loop is ended, your max variable will contain the maximum number inside it. How to? Okay, see, I'm entering the number from here while count is not equal to 10. It means that count I'm incrementing by 1, 2, 3 here, and when it becomes 10, the while loop will get ended. So 10 different elements I am reading from the user after entering this. Enter 10 positive numbers. Okay, so here I am reading it. So it will enter this first, then the while loop will get started. First of all, count was 0, so this condition is true. We'll go here. Okay, count is not equal to 10. Remember, num is equal to in dot next int. So I'll read that number and I'll check that number is greater than max or not. So first number will get compared against the max. So obviously it is greater than 0. So that number will be stored into variable max. Fine. So in first case itself, the first number is declared as the maximum number. Then increment the count. Then enter second number. Now check second number will be there in the num variable, and then check with the max. So max was containing previous number. If it is greater, then that number will be replaced, and if it is not greater, then the previous number will be kept as it is there. So it will go on continuing it, and when the loop is ended, the variable max will contain the maximum number that we have entered from the user, okay, from the screen. So when while loop is ended here, after the 10 iterations, iteration means one execution of the loop. So when 10 iterations are completed, your variable max will contain the maximum number inside. So the maximum number I am printing over here. So here I am reading from the user, and as soon as I read, then I am immediately comparing that against the another number which is max, and based on that we are going to execute this particular loop, and when the loop is ended, I am printing the maximum number on the screen. So in this way, this particular logic I am implementing here. Let's see this. I'm running this code. So let's try. Okay, let's do this. Yes, see 67. So it was comparing first of all the number is checked against the 12. So 12 is greater than 0, so max will be 12. Then next time 56. Okay, 56 will be the max variable. Then 44, condition is false. Then 67, condition true. So 67 will be max variable, and after that the max variable is not greater than 67, so it's not compared, and at the end max variable will contain 67 present inside it. Okay, this is how we can make the proper and practical based application of the while loop in this. We can try this example on your system also. Let's try one more example. Same example I have extended to the another logic that is called as the counting the odd numbers. So let's go for this counting the odd number. Same program. We just I just changed this logic present over here. I want to count the odd numbers. So we know that what are the odd numbers. Odd numbers, when you divide this number by 2, their remainder is equal to 1, means it is not equal to 0. So I am reading this number from here, and then checking that number mod 2 is not equal to 0. If that number is divided by 2 and its remainder is not equal to 0, then I have created one variable odd here equal to 0. I am incrementing that odd variable. Okay, I am just incrementing this odd variable, and odd variable is incremented means we are going to add 1, 2, 3. So for a number, for which number this condition is satisfied, I am incrementing total number of odd numbers by 1. Okay, and count is incremented every time inside the while loop. So when while loop is ended, I am printing total odd numbers are this. So in this way we are going to same program and just change the logic, and based on that I'll generate the result. So let's try that one. So let's see the odd numbers. How many odd numbers are there? Okay, see, total 5 odd numbers are present inside it. So it is taking one by one number and then comparing against the condition. So total odd numbers 1 2 3 first 3 for 4 odd numbers are present, and after that okay, 23 is the odd number. Okay, and then once counting is done, it's printing total number of odd numbers are 5. So this is what the logic that I can implement, and the while loop can be easily used in this particular way. Okay, it's very simple common application of the while loop is there in almost all the programming languages around the world. Used in different application areas are having similar use of the while loop. If you are going to see C, C++, Java or Python or any other language, web based languages like PHP, JavaScript, everywhere the while loop is used in same way. It's very commonly used and traditional approach to create the loops in the programming languages. Now while loop is extended to one more property, that is what we call as the do while loop. One more keyword, do, is used over there. So small changes are made over there. So while loop is called as the pre-test loop. Before entering inside the loop, it is checking the condition, and do while is called as the post test loop. Post test means when loop is executed and then we are going to check the condition. This is called as the post test loop. Now what's the difference in that we'll see. So what exactly we are doing? Initialization of all the variables, then body of the loop is executed. Okay, first of all, not checking the condition, it is executing the statement inside the loop, and when statements are executed, then we are going to check the conditions. Okay, when condition is true, then continue with the loop. If condition is false, then statement after the loop are executed and continue the further program. That's what the main difference is there. Do while is the post test loop and while is the pre test loop. So let's see the application of it. So basically do while is used for the creation of the menu based programs, but let's see do while square and do menu, two programs are there that I will show you. Okay, this is do while square, a simple program where I am printing the squares of all the numbers from 1 to 10, but let's make it 5, so it will be visible clearly on the screen. See what I have done here. See do, how it is created. Do, so one number I am creating here, num is equal to 1. Do, and go inside it, system.out.print square of num, whatever num I am printing here, num plus and some colon is given there, so this number will be printed here, and after that I am printing system.out.println num into num. Okay, the square of that number 1 into 1, and then it is incremented, and then we are going to check the number is less than or equal to 5. So number is less than or equal to 5, correct, it's exactly correct. 1, then for 2 square is printed, for 3, for 4, for 5, and value becomes 6. So for 6 square is also printed, for 6 also square is printed, and then we are going to check the condition, 6 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is actually false. Okay, so loop is completed, and then I am going to check the condition. That's what the main property that do while loop is containing here. So let's run this code, check the output. See 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, so here when 5 is printed, then I am incrementing the value 6. So when a value becomes 6, it's this condition is becoming false. So that's what the output I am generating over here. So loop body is executed first, and after that we are going to check the condition. This particular property belongs to the do while loop. So where actually do while loops are applicable? So let's see. So generally in menu based programs we are going to make use of the do while loop. In this program shown over here, I am going to make a choice like finding the square, finding the cube, or exiting out of it. So what I have done here, let's make use of it. See what I have done. Here I am creating a menu based program, finding square of the number, finding cube of the number, and exiting out of it. So after that when these choices are printed, I am entering a choice from user, and here by using in.nextInt I am storing this choice inside the ch. Okay, and that number, whether user has entered 1, user has entered 2, or user has entered 3, based on that the switch case will get executed, switch ch. Okay, in case 1 Okay, first of all, when value is equal to 1, enter the number, next int, store that number here, create the square of it and print it and come out of it. Fine. This is how we have learned already. If a user has entered 2, then second case it will execute this, find the cube of it. Third case, so there is a function in system class, method in system class called as exit, which is used to terminate the program immediately by returning 0 from there. So system.exit, and if not 1, 2 or 3 are entered, so I'll have default case here, system.out.println wrong choice. Okay, and after that I'm going to make use of the continue statement. So system.out.print continue. Do you want to continue or not? Okay, so after that I'm reading a character from user, system.in.read. Okay, so this is how I'm going to read the data from single character from the user. Okay, single integer from user basically, but here I am typecasting it to character by this method, and con is a variable inside this character will be stored. And once the character is stored, then after I am going to check whether the user want to continue with this or not, because see, one time the loop will get executed first, and after the loop is completed, one iteration of the loop is completed, then I am going to check whether you have to continue with the next options or not. So that's why I am checking it while con is equal to y or con is equal to capital Y. So small y and capital Y both are checked. If you enter y inside this variable, then only next iteration of loop will get started. If not, then loop will be terminated and the program will get completed here. Remember, this is how I am going to check it. So read it. If it is entering y, then only continue it. If other than y is entered, then loop will not get continued, it will get terminated immediately. Let's see the output of this code. See, yes, so I have entered inside the loop. I have not yet checked whether user want to continue or not exactly. I am performing operation at least one number of time here, and then it will ask for continuing with. So let's use the first one. Let's enter the number 12, its square is 144, and now it is asking for do you want to continue or not. If I press yes, then do while loops condition will check whether that con is equal to y or con is equal to capital Y. Yes, now it is continued. Check it out. Okay, so let's go for the second option, 464, and now it's asking for continue. Now if I enter other character than y, for example, no, I don't want to continue. So yes, this is completed, program is completed. So loop will not get continued after that. So this is how where practical actual application of do while lies. When you want to execute the statements inside the loop at least one number of times, there we are going to make use of the do while loop control structures. Okay, so this is what post test loop, do while loop is present there. There is no any different application of while loop is and do while loop are containing. Only main is that pre-test and post-test that these loops are having. So do okay, one more important thing that you have to remember, that when while is completed, you need to give the semicolon there. Where while is not containing semicolon and for is also not containing semicolon at the end of it. So what here in do while loop is containing a semicolon, because here loop is getting ended. That's why semicolon is expected at the end of the while statement inside the do while. Okay, so you can try this example also and try to understand how exactly the do while loop get executed. Let's continue with the third kind of the loop. That is what we call as a for loop. Very commonly used loops in the Java programming language. So how it is actually executed. Let's see. Initialization is done once. Then condition we are going to check, make use of. If condition is true, then body of the loop will get executed. So we are going to have the body of the loop here. When condition is true, body of the loop. Then increment or decrement. Okay, so whatever increment or decrement of the counter you have to do, that will be done. And after this, again you are going to check the conditions. Okay, when condition is true, we'll go inside the body of the loop, again continue, and when condition becomes false, we'll come out of the loop and continue with this. One advantage that for loop carries, that for loop contains everything inside the single line. Initialization plus condition and increment decrement, with changing the value of the counter, all these three things written inside the same statements. Means while loop and for loop are exact alternative to each other, where the number of lines in for loop are less than the while loop. Let's take the example of it. So two examples I am showing over here, finding the factorial of the number and finding the power of one number raised to another number. So let's see, for example, here in factorials, we might be knowing the factorial. Factorial means if I want to find 5 factorial, it will be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, in this way the factorial is found. So let's see how to do this one. So here I am entering the number from user and storing that number into variable num, and this is what the application of the for loop is. For loop contains 3 things inside it. Which one? Okay, for I is equal to this is called as initializations. Okay, and this is what we call as the condition, and this is we call as the increment or decrement. Okay, so I am decrementing this number. See what I want, the number which I entered, for example, if I enter number 5, so we'll start from 5, decrement to 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So multiplication of all I want to store, I have to store inside one variable. So that variable I declared as fact. Correct? So I'll start my number I from I is a loop counter from 5, for example 5. Then I is greater than 0 because I am decrementing it. First of all, the condition will become true, and I minus minus, so immediately it is not decremented. When loop body is executed, then it is decremented. Now see, so fact is equal to fact into I. So fact is 1 into 5 first time will happen, and 5 will be stored inside the variable fact. Then decrement it. Which one? I was 5 plus, it will become 4. Okay, remember this statement is executed only one number of time, first time. Okay, and this condition is checked every time and decremented also every time when the loop single execution of loop is completed that time. Okay, then 4 is multiplied in fact, then 3 is multiplied, then 2 is multiplied, then 1 is multiplied, and value becomes 0. This condition becomes false. When condition is false, loop will be terminated. When the loop is terminated, we will have the factorial, this variable contain the multiplication of all the numbers from 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, and that I am printing it on the screen. So factorial is whatever 120 is the factorial of the number 5 in this way. So we need to focus 3 things that for loop is containing. See, for loop here we are having this initialization which is executed at least one number of times. This particular part is a condition which is executed every time to continue the next iteration of the loop, and this also executed every time when the condition or when loop body is executed. One more thing which you can see from this program, I have not given the curly braces. Remember, curly braces are required only when we have multiple number of statement inside the loop, whether it's a while loop, do while loop or the for loop. In case of if else also we have seen the same concept. If you are having multiple statement, then only curly braces are expected, and if you write then also it's okay, but here I have not given that particular statement. So if I run this code, let's see this, whatever logic I have explained, the same way it will work. Okay, 5, see, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, that is 120. Loop is ended. When the loop is completed, will come out of it, and then I am printing this factorial it on the screen. So in this way the for loop actually behaves. Okay, see, we'll keep some more simple application of using this. So while add this particular program, I will modify, and let's make use its use from the point of view of the while loop. So let's use this. I'll create a new program from here for the while loop, for the for loop, sorry. Okay, so let's use the for loops for add. Fine. Okay, and inside this for add loop, okay, for add class, I'll apply, okay, I'll use this for add, and using for loop we'll do the addition of all. See how changes are expected. So let's use this for here for. Okay, so first of all, for example, this num I have not declared here. Okay, so this is not required here. For int num is equal to 1, okay, and num is less than 10, then num plus plus. Fine, and let's check this. Now see this one. Okay, so int num is equal to 1. num is less than equal to 10, num plus plus, and add this number into variable add. Add is equal to 0 and adding this into variable add and storing it here. Add is equal to add plus num, and instead of that, one more thing that we can, one operator that we can make use of, num add plus equal to num, means add is equal to add plus num, and go on using it. Start from 1 plus 2 plus 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, value becomes 11, condition will become false and will come out of the loop. So same program I just converted in the form of the for loop. See, 2 lines I have deleted out of it. So these are the extra lines which are not expected inside the for loop, and we are going to have the output accordingly. See this one, 55, correct? So for loop is having less number of lines because everything is embedded into this simple line. That's why it is not required to write them separately. Initialization, condition, and increment, decrement. So what we will do? See, initialization generally while loop is written above, condition is given only, and increment or decrement is also inside the while loop. So but for loop it is not required, and all of these things can be eliminated also. If I don't require initialization, so keep it empty. I don't require the increment, decrement, so keep it empty. I don't require the condition, so very rarely we have that. When you don't require the condition, that also we can keep it empty. So these properties are there that for loop is containing. So this is how the for loop will work. For loop is very precise and simple way to create the loop control structure in C, C++, and Java also. So in this way we are going to make use of the for loop. Now let's go for some statements here. There are 2 different keywords associated with the loop control structures, and these statements are called as break and continue. Let's use of the break and continue. Break is a simple keyword which is used to execute or terminate the loop immediately upon some conditions there. Let's see this, how to use the break. Break is used to terminate the loop control structure upon some conditions are satisfied. Directly also you can write it, but break is generally associated with a conditions. So let's see how these operations are done. See, I am declaring a var variable here while var is less than 20, so it will start from 10 to 20, correct? Then I am printing that var on the screen, incrementing the var by 1, and if var is greater than 16, then break. So what do you think? What's the output of this statement? Okay, so we'll start printing 11 first, then 12, then 13, then 14, then 15, and when it becomes 16, okay, so 16 is printed, 15 printed, and when it becomes 16, that time the condition will become false, loop will be immediately terminated. So from 11 to 16 the loop will get executed, and when it's come out of it, will print loop completed. It is expected that it should go till 20, but here is my break condition. That's why loop will not get continued till 20, it will just continue till 15 only. So if I run this code, check this, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15, when value becomes 16, the loop will be immediately terminated. Why? Because of the break statement is executed from here. So this is what the application of break is. Basically break can be used inside while loop, do while loop, and for loop also. So it depends upon your condition how you can make use of this break statement more effectively in your system, okay, in your program. Now there is an application of the break is present. It's called as a break, can be used as a go to statement also. Go to, if you are knowing C, C++, you might be knowing go to is a label. If you want to jump to a particular label, so that time go to statements are used. So see, a simple program I have written here, 3 blocks I am creating. It's a very rare application of the break statement is, but this is present inside the Java. That's why I have included this in this video. So first, second and third, 3 blocks I have created here. Check it out. 3 blocks are present. Here I have not used any loop statement, but along with if also I can make use of the break statement there. See, so here third loop contains the before the break, and this won't execute written there. Then this won't execute. This is after the second block, something I have just created these things. So I just want to say something here. If the condition, okay, if I am writing a condition here, let's see, if t is just a condition, I have given true directly, means by default it is true, break second. What do you mean by this? Break second. So break second means it will come out of this block, second block. So name is given here, block second and then colon. So this block it will come out of it. It means that this is executed, this won't execute. You can see that one is written there, and this also won't execute because this statement is inside the third block. this statement is inside the second block and this statement inside the first block. So only first block statement is executed, this one, and before whatever written here. So it means that it will break the second block. Okay, if I write third block, the third block will be break. If I write first block, so first block will be break. Okay, so it's not expected that should be written inside the loops only. It can be written in the blocks also, but very rare application is used in actual programming of the Java. So before the break and after the second block, it's written there. You can try this program. I've given this program along with this video, and check break second, break third, or break first. So what exactly you see, so that particular block will be executed, will be continued out of it. So this is how the break statement is actually used. Very regularly we apply the break statement in a program. Now let's go for the second statement. That's what we call as the continue statements. See, the continue statement is very, again, rarely used kind of statement that we use in the programming, because most of the time the programmers, students, are unaware about the application of the continue statement. What do you mean by continue? Now I'll explain in a simple way that continue is used to continue the next iteration of the loop by skipping the current iteration. That's what continue is. Execute the next iteration of the loop by skipping the current iteration. So how to do this one? See, in this particular program, I am started with I equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. So I is my loop counter, and I am checking if I mod 2 is equal to 0, means if I is even number or not. So remainder of division by 2 is equal to 0. It means that whether it is a even number or not. When the number is even, then I have given continue. It means that when the even number is present, it will skip this current iteration of the loop. Okay, this one means the statement after the continue will not get executed. When it is not getting executed, when the number is even, and when the number is odd, this condition will become false, and that number will get printed here. Fine. So continue will skip the iteration, that execution of the loop, when condition is satisfied. It means that for even number I am skipping this statement, and for odd numbers only this statement will be printed. See this. So I am getting only odd numbers printed on the screen. This is what the application of continue statement is. So continue is just to skip the current iteration and continue the next iteration of the loop. So C, C++, Java and Python, these languages also contain the continue statement in the same way. Okay, it is not used to terminate any loop, but it is used to continue the loop, but next iteration of the loop, not the current one. That's what the application of continue is. And there is one more modified way of continue is used here, exactly in the same way, almost in the same way, which we are used for the break statement. So when the loops are nested together, it's possible to nest the loops. We can write the loop inside another loop, but which loop you want to continue, that is decided by the continue statement also. See, this loop has given the name outer, and this loop is not containing any name basically, because if I use the continue inside this loop, okay, inside this loop it can continue this loop, but I don't want to continue this loop. I want to continue the outer loop, this one, whose name is given here. That time also continue and label can be used. So I want to continue not the current loop, I want to continue the outer loop or outmost loop, whatever the loop control structure you are used, but they should be nested. It's not like that you are using continue in one loop and somewhere other you are written statement for loop other loop statements, and this is what we are continuing. It's not possible. It's possible only for the nesting of the loop. When you write the loop inside another loop, so which loop to continue can be decided by the continue and the label written after this. Okay, let's see the output. This is just a demonstration program, not a specialized program I want to create here. You can check it out how the output is printed. Okay, so sequence of the numbers and generating here 369, 4, 8, 12, 16, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, like gone till 9. So in this way we are going to make use of the continue statement and the continue label this. Okay, so this is the basic and core programming structures part of Java programming language are completed. Basically this is taken from C and C++. Almost similar kind of syntax are present. Some modification and some deletion from the program is also done. we just can try. All the programs are given along with this video, and I have taken all these programs from this book, Tushar B. Kote's Core Java Programming, a Practical Approach by University Science Press. Okay, so if you have any doubts, so you can mail me on the given mail ID. Thank you. Thanks a lot.